won't change that. If they come back next season, Jimmy Soufis, you get the feeling, I spoke to him after the game, doesn't mind the idea of being the hunters. I think being the hunted after a while, it doesn't get boring, but you sort of miss that feeling of going after it. It might reinvigorate them and revitalize them.
Well, if we look at what they did when they mentioned that against Maund in the second game this season, showcased their real hunt and desire, as Kevin Lamb, meanwhile, here showcases that he's a set-piece specialist.
Goal scorer for Pascoe Vale, number 19, Kevin Lamb.
Mentioning his former employers, but boy, is he at strides for the Lions now, Ethan.
Super smashing Kevin Lamb free kick, where he leapt for the first, he lamped in the second. Pascoe Vale have turned it around. Western United's fast start now, all of a sudden, hitting the brakes of it, but Cesc McCullough with a smashing ball, Partemos with a poke, Newen with a block, United with a corner.
One of the balls we've seen, which has been the best all night in my opinion. Great ball. The switch, perfect.
Cesc McCullough's take out for Partemos. Oh, the volley via a deflection! Newen wore one. Western United work themselves level. And Elias Partemos, well, they weren't where he wanted it to, but not how he would have wanted it to.
Well, as much as it was Parthemos' goal, Newen had the final touch and it hit him square in the face, poor Michael Newen. He kept walking, we weren't sure where he was going. I don't think he was either. No claret coming off him yet, but ouch. That would have hurt like something crazy. Like being bitten by a piranha.
He got in the way of the cannon, didn't he? Within firing range.
Can't do that. I mean, you have to do that, but, well, you've got to think what's more important, my well-being or conceding. On that occasion, well, both were hurt there for Newen and Pascoe Vale, but got to admire the courage. That's what happens, all part of the game. And, well, they've clawed one back, have the side from the west of the town. And as it currently stands, Ethan, if Western City, after re-emerge into SFV competition, the Western Derby reignites. And dare I say, they will always clash as each round to keep a firm eye on. They will always entertaining. They really carry some weight to do those Western rivalries. And as it stands, City currently have the chance to find automatic qualification into SFV. A full welcome for their return. Love to see Aaron Fung back in the big time. Of course, represented Pascoe Vale at the recent FV State Championship competition. What a cracking player he is. Of course, still a lot of championship futsal remaining. That's all the attention now, considering SFV has been finalised. Relegation confirmed, the title confirmed, heading into next week. Second place, all pretty much left to play for. A firm glimpse on how the competition will shape up moving into next season. But back on to that of Fitzroy. I think we'll look back on the 5-time consecutive winning championship team for decades and decades to come. It's such an incredible feat. And mind you, a state championship in the mix of that also. It's quite simply expert.
5 seasons of dominance doesn't go away overnight, does it? And you look at the quality in that squad, though. Russo, Rogan, Robotis. They had Kevin Lamb and Michael Newen for a stint of it. That side was oozing with class. Mazen Abdallah as well in between the sticks. You talk about a star-studded side, a star-studded lineup, and a club whose expectation it is to win. To see them falter for the first time in 5 seasons is a weird feeling.
It genuinely is. No, seriously, it is a feeling that I don't think you'll come to terms with for some time if you're a neutral of SFV. They've done it 5 times over again. And finally for the Blues, their moon rises. It's a great rivalry between 2 clubs. Maund can now say they've gotten one back. But a full spotlight on the Tigers come next season. As for the Lions, and for Western, and of course for the champions Maund, it's all shaping up supremely well.
Here's Luke Ross.
No.
Tried to switch it. Lamb in the way again. He is the one for Pascoe taking control. And if they want to look at someone who they need to keep for next season, Pascoe Vale, that man, number 19 right there, is one at the very top of the list. A long list for Maurizio Novak and co.
I think the Charchies, Ethan, have done a good job of really selecting and solidifying each of the Pascoe Vale players. They had a lot of staff at the start of the season. They had almost a surplus at one stage. I swear on one occasion they fielded nearly 20 players one night, trying to see which ingredients and pieces of the puzzle fit perfectly. But I'd like to say now they've got a real measured approach. Of course, you have the Mad Cat and Jarvis Gin to return. A full season of a fit Mazen Abdallah has a lot to prove, considering his aspirations and time away from playing due to injury. Excited to see a real hungry, determined Mad Cat, which will be on the cards. He'll turn into a Mad Tiger, let alone a cat. Though he was a former Tiger. Maybe not the namesake to use there, but excited to see what's ahead of Pascoe Vale. Of course, Matthias Assumpção to re-enter the fray, having out obligations all wrap up. For that, of course, the FV club of the Bulleen Lions. Seems to be part of all where he goes, Assumpção, who had his birthday recently, so if he's watching, shout out to him. But that being said, they still have that ingredient, an ace up their sleeve, perhaps, the Charchies. I'd love to see how he fits into this here.
And Arturo Diaz Garzon as well. Maybe, maybe not. That is.
Of course, there's still a massive transfer window to come. Not overly sure what will happen, but basically anything can. I've seen some bizarre transfers throughout the years. The transfer, you could argue, that took all the attention was a Pascoe Vale one at the start of this year. Back at Thomastown, the unveiling of both the Mad Cat and Michael Newen. They came out the smoke and drew a lot of attention, having Fitzroy kits traded for that of Pascoe Vale colours. Also to mention, Brad Bezard-Paul calling it a day on his career. The human freight train departs the station. Be sorely missed, it must be said, Ethan, on and off the court. Tremendous player, tremendous man. A lot of respect and admiration for such a tantalising figure. And I'm sure his presence will be felt off the court. He won't be a complete stranger. His playing days, as he said, have come to its conclusion. So bittersweet night here at DCSS. The dawn setting on things, the dust settling on the first season, and everything beautiful, and not so much throughout it. It's got to think to transition from the small court at Thomastown to where we are tonight, having the quality of futsal only increase despite all the transitional, perhaps, issues. Tremendous old nod to SFV and everyone's collective effort, from clubs to administrators to commissioners. It's been a great overall product and a lot of great strides made by everybody involved.
Here's Newen losing out to Parthamos, who is striding his way forward at the moment. Had Ross on his left, Bayrakli on his right. Parthamos went alone. It's been a dramatic season, hasn't it, in Darabin? Penultimate match day, we've got one more to go. The final knocking of this second to last round. Two teams who have had very different seasons. Pascoe Vale post-Easter were written out of the title picture and have clawed their way to within an inch of second since then. Western United were seen as the nearest challengers. The heirs to the throne, and Bayrakli is on the march. That's a super save from Billy Attic. Pushed it away for a corner, got down brilliantly.
Brackley might have had one more touch there, Ethan, you could have taken. Nonetheless, a great save by the keeper.
Western United corner. Dimirais to take it. Bayrakli again lurking at the near post. Player who's provided us with some simply spectacular moments this season, as he got one more left in his locker for one of the final two games. A tricky finish for Western. Pascoe Vale tonight, Moreland next week. But a good chance to prepare for next season. A good chance to just have one final look at the first edition of 2025. And Luke Ross,
Great recovery.
his efforts blocked by Newen. Dima Rice keeps it ticking over. Parthamos. Back for Dima Rice. Now Barakli. Suleiman Mohammed wants calm. Luke Ross obliges him. Dima Rice. Parthamos. Tricky bit of footwork to get out of a tight situation. Bayrakli. Dancing away from Evangelista. Caro got the challenge in. Evangelista's turn to go on it. And they might, Pascoe Vale, have wanted an advantage.
Barakli will claim that his momentum pushed him onto the ball to handle it. Well, handball was the call by Ciaris, and it was a correct one, considering that's what happened despite it being a bit unfair. That's what happened, unfortunately, for Barakli and Western.
Pascoe Vale protests, of course, coming from the fact that Evangelista wasn't able to continue his foray forward. Here's Michael Newen. Switching ball for Jimenez. Caro. Teased it wide for Newen, who's got Evangelista inside. Bayrakli is hot on the press. Dimarias now goes to Caro, who skips away. Evangelista gave him an out ball and got away from Ross. Bayrakli in retreat, poked it out of play. One thing you must mention this season, I mean, it feels oh so long ago, that final Friday in February, doesn't it? We've had players from all over the world come to this league. We've had returns of club icons, we've had transfers, we've had dramatic Clásicos, 2 ended 3-3, and we have a new champion. All in the space of a season.
It's been a very busy 4 or 5 month period, hasn't it? What a sport. It's truly unique. It's truly beautiful. It's truly its own entity. And, of course, changing venue. Of course, you might think it's simple, but there's so much that goes into it. And from everybody involved, as we mentioned before, Ethan, I don't think it could have gone any better this season, considering all the drama, the narrative, the storylines in between. Certainly been everything we've asked for and some more. And dare I say, it's only going to get better from here, considering all that is to happen come the start of August.
In the meantime, we've still got 3 and a bit games left in this current season. Ross retreating. Tyler Lewis to gather. He's another face that's made their return to series futsal. Former Tiger turned Western United shot stopper.
Oh.
Parthamos with a Super Bowl. Dima Rice, that is a classy finish. Fernando Dima Rice off the shoulder and then effortlessly slotted it in to the back of the net to turn it around for Western United.
Goal for Western United, number 88, the King, Fernando Dima Rice.
Terrific touch. Vintage. Beyond comparison, beyond imitation. You can't forge those.
He's the king. That is quite simply, and it's a term we use every week, I understand, but that is trademark Fernando Dima Rice. We saw him do it at South Melbourne in VPL 1 competition years ago, where he became a club legend on the outdoor circuit. He had such a great run. Some would say a generational run playing indoor, and he's still doing it time in, time out. You can't teach it. You can't learn it. It's instinct, and he showcased it yet again. Did Dima Rice, the king. Long may he live.
We talked about new coronations, new monarchs. We can't forget the one who rules over all.
Such a cool moment.
Caro. Evangelista. Newen was his option. Parthamos won it back. Evangelista decided to have a go, and Tyler Lewis got his angles right and made what could have been a tricky one look easy, and Evangelista has bundled Ross to the ground behind play and gone into the book for it. Bit of frustration, perhaps.
Pascoe Vale will want to finish this campaign in second place. There's no doubt about that. And they'll have to win here tonight for that to be the case. And, of course, get a result out of a win next week against Fitzroy. How it aligns with their trajectory, that they've established since the start of last year. Another player come next season to keep an eye on. Now that they're starting to really organise themselves and look really galvanised. I just can't wait. I mean, we've seen what we've had to see this season. No denying that. Still, futsal and personal notes to be said. The top goal scorer race is so close. That will all be decided come next week. And of course, the MVP has to be fully official. But you just think about what's to come. It's such an exciting time if you're a true futsal fanatic. And of course, Women's League is nearing its conclusion too. Mabanaku looking rather impressive again. And how things might all change with the transfer window and the new season that will be shortly.
Ross going beyond 2, beyond 3, finding Cess McCullough, trying to work it for Galpa. Newen. Just taking the sting out of a Western United side who have come to play tonight. Beaten by Aku, they feel as though they have a point to prove. Newen. Lovely return for Andre Caro. Lewis at the second attempt gathered it. Tried to flick it for Parthamos. Attic and Jimenez got in each other's way. Ross has an open net. Jimenez ever so important off the line. Attic gathered and Lewis's turn to match his counterpart and go the long way.
Both goalkeepers just going on their own journeys. Ethan, Ethan Stone, our camera operator, of course, has become very well acquainted with SFV and, well, was having a bit to say behind the camera about the movements of both goalkeepers and his usual cheeky charm.
Here is Newen. Andre Caro. Just waiting on Cess McCullough to try and make up his mind for him. Here's Newen. Jimenez got there. Newen tried to tease it into his path. Lewis again there to mop it up. He's been a very good acquisition for Western United, hasn't he? In the minutes we've seen him play, Tyler Lewis, I would have to say, has been quite terrific.
He's got that experience. He's got that pedigree. Maybe a point to prove.
Galpa got away from Evangelista, not away from Jimenez, who fouled him. And Noel Soma is going to issue a timeout. Western United won it. Suleiman Suleiman Mohammed protests the case. Noel Soma urges the importance and the timeliness of that timeout, and they will get it. Western United have made a rather fast start this evening. They lead Pascoe Vale by 3 goals to 2.
สำหรับผมในกีฬาฟุตซอลครับ2 อย่างที่ต้องมีครับในตัวนักกีฬาฟุตซอลครับก็ระเบียบวินัยแล้วก็ความมุ่งมั่นครับมี2 อย่างนี้ก็ทำให้คุณอาจประสบความสำเร็จได้ครับ
ก็ฟุตซอลเป็นเหมือนชีวิตผมครับเพราะว่าผมทำมันมาตั้งแต่เด็กแล้วก็คิดว่ามันน่าจะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในชีวิตของผมเลยครับ
ผมเสียสละในกีฬานี้ก็ในเรื่องของเวลาครับเพราะว่าเราต้องทิ้งทุกอย่างไปข้างหลังครับแล้วก็คอนเซนเทรตแล้วก็มีความมุ่งมั่นกับกีฬานี้เพื่อที่จะพัฒนาตัวเองแล้วก็ไปสู่ความสำเร็จครับ
สำหรับต้องมีความมุ่งมั่นแล้วก็ความอดทนแล้วก็ความพยายามครับผมถึงประสบความสำเร็จได้ครับ
พวกเราไม่เคยหยุดไล่ล่าพวกเรามาที่นี่เพื่อพิชิตพวกเราหยุดไม่ได้
I grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a wave.
5 seconds left. They simply have to be perfect from here to keep their perfect record alive. Adam Cooper, is this the moment for him? Cooper has equalised against all odds, and look what it means to everybody here. It's absolutely
ready to see.
Love that. Love.
Again, down the line for Newen. Pascoe Vale. This game. Lamb who's got a brace. Newen who's looking for his first. Ross who's in the way. Jimenez to watch it trickle out. They've been impressive, Western United, so far. Very, very impressive. They've been disciplined, they've been organised, they've limited looks. And they've kept this man here, Newen, very quiet. Parthamos and Ross doing the job that time. Galper, Sess McCullough kept it alive. Hustled by Jimenez. Lost out, brought him down. Pascoe Vale free kick. Kevin Lamb to take, who is already on a hat-trick. And that is Weston's issue, Weston's 5th foul as well. Skopolidis, the one-man wall, shielding his face. Lamb, Newen couldn't get a touch. Ross bundled into him. Penalty shouts waved away.
Gary Neville, ooh. To quote him only, because it looked like Luke Ross might have made some contact there. Sure, that's what the Charchies and Maurizio Novak would have thought. It's a brilliant touch.
Of room. Lamb, Jimenez. Oh. Lurking, caught it on the turn. Lewis watched it wide. This time he fizzes it long for Skopolidis. That's a lovely nod down. Ross tried to hook it. Lamb in the way. Newen has now got room to roam. Didn't quite know about it. Waited on his options. Gave it to Lamb, who's danced away from Skopolidis. Worked it for Andre Caro, who flashes it across the face.
Wasn't far away, the doctor. Really dug deep inside his boot to just let it fly. Did the Pascoe Vale number 7. And Kevin Lamb has been electric, hasn't he? Each time he touches the ball, Ethan, he's just having influence.
Skopolidis nearly having some influence. Attic came a long way. Wasn't able to make any contact. Didn't need to in the end. And now he gives it to that man, Kevin Lamb. Caro. Lamb once more. Lovely 1-2. Stayed in for him. Oh, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Western side ball, Bayrackley. Back for Tyler Lewis. Lick Ross. Hustle by Newen. Tried to go, Lick Ross. Hustle by Newen. Tried to go down the line. Skopolidis got the spin, but then slipped as he went to go in behind. Attic long for Caro. Skopolidis recovery challenge. Very, very good. Pascoe Vale protest about a corner. Out for Ross. Now Bayrackley. Try to step his way over Newen. Skopolidis on the shot. Attic went to catch out Lewis and then might have a go himself. But Tyler Lewis watched it all the way.
He says no. Not going to happen on my watch. The Attics, of course, have that footy background.
Jimenez. Just too heavy. Lamb was on his way. Still looking for the hat-trick, Kevin Lamb. Pascoe Vale, it's been that nearly moment since going behind. They haven't cut out a clear opportunity to land a leveller. And Western United are just looking a touch more like they might get another. It's Jimenez. Can they work themselves level before half-time? Newen, Caro, clipping it towards Jimenez. Skopolidis got up. Jimenez had 2 for company. And in the end,
Jimenez and Skopolidis wanting a headset. They're right with us on the commentary booth now, Ethan. Now right in the action, not just on the court, but on the booth. Got to have I reckon, next season moving forward. Let us know in the comments, of course, how it would be having players mic'd up. If we could do it, I'd be all for it. I think that's premium content.
Who would you want?
Oh, who wouldn't? I'd want everybody. I want 3 or 4 players a game.
Adam Cooper. I think Pimenta would be interesting.
I think everybody in their own mind would have a story to tell.
Here's Parthamos.
Let us know in the comments who you'd want mic'd up in a game. We'll see if we can make it happen come next season.
Bayrackley. Skopolidis. Now Parthamos. Got away from Caro, tried to slide it to Ross. Kevin Lamb came away with it and is going all the way, and Tyler Lewis had to get down, readjust himself and make another very smart save.